Another Terran from IM. Apparently this guy is kind of someone who hasn't really been seen a lot, I guess. I don't have a name for him. But
well, lucky us then. But we will make up a name for him because in direct translation, I can see bear and bet in his name, so it's kind of weird. So we might just call him Bear.
Wait, what? Bear and what?
Bet.
Bet. Bear bet? We're just calling him Bear.
I don't even know what is that. I mean, can you imagine a morph of those? But
I'm Bear.
Anyway, I am Bear. It's spawning on the left-hand side.
What?
What? I'm who? Okay, anyway, on the left-hand side we have the IM player.
Oh wait, alright, so we're gonna introduce, we've got the IM
go
guy.
ahead.
We've got MorroW, but MorroW on the right side, IM guy on the left side. Apparently, John, the translator, is telling us that his name is basically a reference to a marauder hitting someone, and so it's kind of like, I'm Marauder Punch, because it translates to bear bat, and marauders in Korea are fire bears, so it's gonna be like Bear Punch, or like Marauder Punch. I think we should call him Bear Punch. I'm Bear Punch. That's his new name. I've decreed it. Madoa has spoken. So we've got I'm Bear Punch spawning as the blue Terran player on the left side of GSL dual site. And again on the right side is going to be Mao's MorroW. Can he take out Bear Punch? We're going to find out very soon.
Just so you know, on this map, fires are exploding and it is very interesting. But anyway, having a look at the map, you can see that there's a couple of entries to your main base, and your second expansion and your natural are connected through a very wide gap. Which means, I mean, this can pretty much be defended by Zerg if you actually spread your creep really well. At the same time, this map looks like it would be very good for drops because the main is so big. Do you see it?
Yeah, actually this map looks like it's a map that's maybe a little bit tougher for Zergs in general. There's a lot of open spaces where Hellions could get in, especially. Like you mentioned too, there's a lot of room for drops here. The creep doesn't quite extend to the edge of this kind of plateau. And not to mention on MorroW's side, there's like fire coming up everywhere, so it's definitely a little bit dangerous. Now MorroW, one thing I wanted to comment on is his opening against Terran is actually to go 16 hatchery, 17 pool. And the reason he does this is because it gives him a lot of drones to help defend against early 2 barracks pressure. So really unorthodox in terms of ZVZ openings, but it's been working for him. So and I've actually been using it myself on the ladder too. And yeah, if you do get that early bunker pressure, you have a ton of drones to help fight. So I really like it. But yeah, 16 hatch, 17 pool. Kind of interesting. Uh-oh. Happy. Making us a little bit less happy.
Well, MorroW is just playing standard for someone who doesn't really know the map. But it might be a Blue Flame Hellion coming from I am what? Firebat?
I am Bear Punch.
Or just
Bear Punch.
Maybe just Harlion's opening just to do as much aggression as he can, because you see he is swapping that barracks. He's going to swap the barracks with the factory, so we would see a Harlion opening even if it's not Blue Flame. The natural of this map is so wide open. Look at the 2 opening. It's completely open, so it's definitely really good for Harlion's run by.
I see some people in the chat calling I'm happy, I'm laggy. Maybe I have to name change there, but yeah, it looks like it's probably excuse me, gonna be some Hellion aggression from Bear Punch. I'm kind of curious to see if he's gonna expand behind this, or if he's just kind of gonna try to go for like Stim Marines and Marauders. But we'll have to wait and see. The first 2 Hellions are out right now. They're gonna be able to do some scouting, maybe a little bit of damage.
He's swapping back, and it looks like he wants to go for Siege Tag, if I'm not wrong. There you go. Siege Tag is going down, and well, interesting play overall because he might actually make MorroW want to overproduce Speedlings to try to defend this, but he sees us as no Blue Flame, so based on MorroW's experience, he knows that these race cars, bro, they are not pimped, so he's just going to continue to drone up.
So Bear Punch has not decided to pimp his ride quite yet. Exhibit is like all bummed out. He's waiting at the shop. Why doesn't Bear Punch pimp his ride?
But the good thing about following this up with Marines Siege Tanks is that it's kind of the most standard opening you can have from a Terran player. But even like just bringing that Hellions in to either scout or even be aggressive towards the Zerg to make him stop making drones. Because as you can see, MorroW has completely drone up, and looking at his saturation at the moment, I can see that he is almost fully saturated on both bases.
Yeah, he's doing really well right now. MorroW, of course, is able to use that opening to really get droned up much, much quicker. If we look at the income tab, he's slightly ahead 32 to 30 right now. Army-wise, MorroW again slightly ahead, 51 over 48. Getting a good scope out of things with the Overlord as well, but the Bear Punch right now looking pretty defensible. He's got a good amount of tanks, well, 2 to be precise, which is a good amount for this stage in the game. It does keep you safe. Yep. Oh, but getting supply blocked a little bit. Oh, no, never mind. The depot did just finish.
Well, I mean, he's going straight for that Muta without actually getting Baneling Nest. What do you think about that? Because it's quite risky for a Zerg player to live without any Banelings due to, you know, the heavy bio-aggression that Terran players often engage in.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about that, actually. I've talked to MorroW a little bit about this. He actually sits right next to me at the GOM house, so he and I talk quite a bit about different Zerg matchups. And sometimes he tells me he does actually skip Banelings, just because he feels like with massive amounts of Speedlings combined with Mutas, if you can get the right angle, you can actually just skip Banelings altogether. So I think that's what he might try to do. Otherwise, he may try to get the Baneling Nest after the Spire. If you notice, he does have this Evolution Chamber in a place where it's going to block Hellions from running around behind. So MorroW is in a very good defensive position right now, catching those Hellions too, and actually causing Bear Punch to stim all those Marines. Nice job by MorroW, using up some of that medevac energy. And that's kind of what I'm talking about, is that with that large amount of Speedlings, he's able to kind of be out on the map and not really worry about Hellions quite as much. So, not a bad idea.
I'm pretty sure if anyone knows how MorroW plays, it would be Doa right here, because they do sit next to each other, and very often when I'm on Skype, I can hear them just talking to each other the whole day, exchanging strats, so I think you would read him a lot.
Yeah, we actually do talk right away. It's been pretty awesome. I was actually a big fan of MorroW before I even started casting, so it's kind of
oh my god, here he comes!
But here comes Bear Punch. Is he gonna punch MorroW in the face, or is MorroW gonna be able to defend it? How strong can a Bear Punch? We're about to find out. That Spine Crawler taking a couple punches, it would go down. Will go down, and MorroW trying to engage with the Mutalisks, having to pull away. Where are all his Speedlings? MorroW probably gonna try to flank from behind, waiting for the unsiege. There it is! Is MorroW gonna go? No, it looks like Bear Punch will get sieged again.
Well,
MorroW,
I'm sorry, bro.
A lot of lings.
I kind of think that if he actually had Banelings, this would be so much more easy for him, because then he can actually defend against the Marines. Here we are gonna see how well MorroW's strat is going to work, but all his Speedlings do get cleaned up, but he somehow manages to take. Oh my god!
There you go.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. And more Marines coming in, though, for Bear Punch. Another attack. I don't know if MorroW's quite ready for this. He did put down a hatchery again, so he does kind of lack the money he needs for Speedlings. Speedlings getting on the tank there, taking that out. And MorroW does have enough Mutalisks to take out the tanks. The Marines are moving out of range of the medevacs. Another thing that MorroW tells me, too, is that you can get more Mutas by skimping on Banelings. Things look pretty tight right now, though. I'd feel a little bit nervous if I was MorroW, but he's handling it so far.
Well, he did manage to almost get +1 up for his Mutalisk at the moment. So, I mean, I'm quite surprised that he actually fended that off, because there was an insane amount of Marines over there. Yeah. Right now, Bear Punch, this IM Terran player with a mysterious nickname, would actually be going to put up more Marines. So you can see MorroW actually displaying a new style of Zerg here. He got his Baneling Nest late, where he should have got it earlier, because Doa explained that MorroW likes to go for a heavy Muta and Speedling build, which, I mean, can you explain to me again how does it work? Especially against siege tanks.
Basically, the idea is to just have so many Speedlings and so many Mutas that you can, with proper flanking, you can basically just overpower your Terran opponent and not really even need to worry about taking out Marines with Banelings. But here comes Marines, and tanks from Bear Punch taking down that hatchery for MorroW. It is going to go down, but here comes the Mutalisks from behind. But where are the Zerglings for MorroW? He needs to move those in. One tank does go down. MorroW does have a good amount of Speedlings, and here comes some Banelings now. Quite a bit of Banelings actually from MorroW. And he's going to need to absolutely crush that army and then counterattack pretty quickly because he's still only on 2 bases. And 2 base Zerg against 2 base Terran is very, very difficult for Zerg right now. Bear Punch scanning. Trying to take out a couple of creep tumors.
Well, he has to try to flank this for sure, but you look at Bear Punch, he has already splitted his Marines, and it's very hard for MorroW to try to catch that unless he can, you know, try to do a flank with the Mutas, which he might be doing so right now. I mean, do you think it's viable at this point of time for him to go for a counter attack?
I think it'd be, I don't know, he definitely could. I think it'd be pretty risky, as Bear Punch does have a pretty good army right outside his natural.
Well,
But
you know,
I think MorroW should engage. We'll see.
I mean, I really do not know, like you said, this Baneling thing. You said he can make more Mutas with it, and he can get Banelings later on. But wouldn't it be better to get like a certain amount of Banelings instead of getting a lot of Speedlings to try to make up for the Banelings?
Yeah, I think that's what most Zerg players would do. MorroW trying to be a little bit creative. We'll see if it works out. Bear Punch moving ahead with these Marines now. And MorroW just not able to move in with the Speedlings quite yet. There are only 2 tanks, though.
Well, economy-wise, it looks like MorroW is still doing pretty well for himself, and he's getting that second expansion at the side. But a drop is also incoming, and at the same time, here comes the attack, and it goes to surround around all the tanks.
And it looks like he's got barely enough. He needs to move those Mutas out of the way. There is a drop down here at this expansion as well. MorroW's cleaned up that attack, but the drop causes him to cancel that hatchery. MorroW not able to get a 3rd base up yet, and that actually may cost him the game, as here comes another attack from Bear Punch. Tanks do get to siege up, but the Marines are out of position. The Mutalisks take out both tanks, and excuse me, I don't know, can they get away in time?
Well,
that was not the best time to cough. I need some water.
Stream after stream and wave after wave of Marines and siege tanks are coming towards MorroW's way, and you know, Terran can withhold their economy way longer than a Zerg player can, and look at these siege tanks, they're doing so much damage towards the Speedlings and Banelings. I mean, I really think that his Baneling strat isn't going to be so effective on a map like that, especially when the choke is so big. I really don't know, like, I don't really see any Zerg player playing like that, but I mean, as these games go longer, we might actually see what you say of how he invests his gas in Mutas instead of using them to make Banelings.
Yeah, now we do see Bear Punch getting his 3rd base right now, and that's going to be a problem for MorroW, as MorroW does not have his 3rd up quite yet. Bear Punch as well, getting his armory. He's going to want to get a couple Thors to help handle the Mutas, as the tanks and Marines just have not been able to do it quite yet. MorroW massing some more units. If we take a look at the income tab, Bear Punch actually ahead, 47 to 45, and a little bit ahead in the Food Country, 108 to 107. That doesn't make a huge difference, but MorroW's definitely in trouble right now.
I think MorroW might have a lot of difficulty right now because, as you know, he has been behind on economy so far, like you have said. But the one way to actually let him come back is for him to try to match his economy with the Terran. So he just has to try to hold this. I mean, it would be interesting to see him try to go for Infestus at this point of time to delay any aggression that the Terran player throws at him.
He might actually do that. That would not be a bad idea. He's getting 2 gases at his 3rd base right away, getting a lot more Banelings as well. So he wants to just be ready for whatever push Bear Punch is going to send at him. Should be pretty soon here. Bear Punch starting to amass a good amount of Marines. Only 1 tank right now, 2. Not really getting any Thors yet. Instead, just deciding to use that armory for the upgrades. I'm kind of a little bit surprised we don't see MorroW taking another base. Mario? I almost thought of Mario.
I'm gonna call him Mario later.
No,
but
don't.
Yeah.
How's Mario?
It's
a Mario! He's coming in with the Speedlings right now, and a lot of Banelings as well. That tank gets surrounded. MorroW able to push back yet another attack and stay alive for just a little bit longer. Bear Punch not really able to get much traction in this game quite yet.
Well, it's kind of, it's kind of interesting because Bear did do really good siege modes earlier outside MorroW's base. I kind of thought that MorroW's life would have ended right there, but he managed to get a surround on all the Marines and siege tanks at the same time. And Mario here seems to have quite a good-sized army coming to defend this push that Bear Punch is bringing forward. If he manages to get a surround on this Marines and has enough banelings, I think he would take this and defend this pretty easily and might even go for a counter-attack.
That's right. I think Mario took the super mushroom because here come the speedlings again. More mutas running in, and again Morrow just has enough speedlings, enough mutas. This could be it. This is the overwhelming force that Morrow needed. He might be able to just run to the base. There's a lot of Marines, though, the siege tanks who get surrounded again. And Morrow again with enough Mutalisks. This could be it. If Morrow can shut down this third base, Bear Punch may have to GG. A lot of bunkers there, but does he have enough mutas? No, Morrow pulling away, but doing a great job of, again, smashing that attack from Bear Punch. Just absolutely flat. Beautiful play by Mouse Morrow.
Well, from that attack, I actually thought that he shouldn't have went for the second expansion and should have went for the Natra instead. Because, there are bunkers outside the second expansion and there was literally almost nothing at the Natra. He could have tried to take down the supply depots and take down the tech lab of the factory to delay Bear, and he could have made a bigger army and came for another wave of attack. So, well, now he's getting Infestors. Great choice, I would say.
There we go. Yeah, getting that... What's the Infestor upgrade called? Mine's in Korean, I can't see it. It is... Well, it's the one that gives Infestors more energy. I'm trying to remember the English name right now. Looks like Morrow is also getting his Hive as well. And Bear Punch licking his paws right now. He's a little bit hurt from the last attack, adding on some more barracks, another command center.
Well, absolutely, and now Morrow has the Haiyu at the moment, which is really interesting. Look at that. This Haiyu has only 5 mineral patches and 1 gas. So you guys should definitely try out this map.
Thanks, chat. It is indeed pathogen glands.
+3 for +3 right now for Bear. And also,
just say it.
Possible attack for his mech. Sorry, I don't want to say Bear Punch because I'm not saying that's his name. Bear Punch.
Bear Punch. See, it's not so hard.
Bear Punch.
Bear Punch.
Yeah, Infestors is so good against Terran right now. I really feel that as a Zerg player, Infestors are such a big part of my own army. And look at those Saws and Siege tanks. If I get a Fungal, here he comes from.
At the main base.
He has so much mutas. It's so hard for Bear Punch to actually defend this, even with the amount of Marines he has, because he does have +2 for both attack and armor on his mutas. So his mutas are actually fully upgraded. He can actually even make a 200 muta ball and end the life of the Terran player.
Well, yeah, that's another thing that Morrow's told me as well, is that one thing he says a lot is that once you get a ball of Mutalisks this large, you should not lose your game in a ZVT. So you'd have to have some pretty bad control to do that, and Morrow does have just a ton of Mutalisks out around the field, and when those do all join together, that will be quite a formidable force of Mutalisks. Looks like Bear Punch. He's going to move out again. He's got a good amount of tanks right now. He's got a Thor as well. This is actually a really scary army from Bear Punch. This could be tough for Morrow to deal with. Or is Bear Punch going to stick his hand in the beehive and get stung? We're going to find out, because here comes Morrow, magic boxing the Thor, and he may be able to pick off a couple tanks as well before the Marines get there. Bear Punch just not getting his Marines in the right place at the right time. Morrow taking a bite out of that army, getting rid of the Thor is a huge deal. Nice fungal growth going down on all those Marines. Great fungal going down. Morrow softening up all those Marines, actually killing them. Mutalisks moving in again. It's all he's going to need. He's not even going to need the Zerglings to finish off this army. That Thor is so dead right now. The Zerglings just kind of taking it easy. They don't need to participate. Here they come now from all sides. Morrow crushing Bear Punch, moving to victory. And it looks like Morrow is going to be able to take this game. There's not a lot that Bear Punch can do at this point. That fourth base for Bear Punch never really got mining. MorroW was able to get his economy going. And he might just decide to go after the production buildings this time. We're going to see what happens. Bear Punch still feeling a little bit confident about his ability to win the game.
Well, I really think it's very hard for him, especially when the Zerg player has so much upgrade on his mutas. I mean, MorroW has +2 on both his, and he has Greatest Fire now, so it's probably, I mean, he doesn't even need Brood Lords. It was only when if he could not defeat the Mech Army, then he would start making Brood Lords. But at the same time, he's making 4 Corruptors, so we are going to see that 4 Brood Lords coming up for MorroW. And he's almost completely, you know, low on minerals because he's mined out on his first base and also his Natra.
Now, MorroW is so far ahead right now, 157 to 77 supply. Yeah, I don't know what more you can say. MorroW's just really ahead right now. Now, Bear Punch did actually take the gold. He does have a planetary there. That's going to keep him in the game a little bit longer. But so far, MorroW's been doing pretty good. It looks like MorroW wants to go after the planetary. Is he going to be able to take it out? There are no turrets there right now, just a group of Marines. One mule being taken out by MorroW.
Here he comes! Fungar! He gets a Fungar!
Going down on the Marines. But MorroW not pushing in just yet. Wanting to be careful about it, not a bad idea at all. All those mules are starting to die too for Bear Punch, so nothing really mining out of that base right now. Income-wise, MorroW's still pretty far ahead, but here he comes again. Poking in again with the Mutalisks. Staying very, very safe right now.
See, more music. Oh, a little bit of lag.
Yoda!
Channel your force, Yoda.
Loda, lag you are.
Awesome.
Ah, well. We're going to take a little bit break and kind of reflect on how far ahead MorroW is at this time. Alright, so what we're going to also do right now, while we wait for MorroW to presumably end this game, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think MorroW's pretty far ahead. Right now, we're going to call out Jinro and Huck right now. Jinro and Huck, if you're out there, if you guys come and play, we're going to have an 8 versus 8. We can make this go on for even longer. So, come on, Jinro. Come on, Huck. Be pals. The fans. Let's play some StarCraft 2 against Incredible Miracle.
Yeah, I like how he actually sends his investors out first to try to get a Fungar of any army that's defending the planetary fortress. And here comes the Marines. He has to defend all these Brood Lords because Brood Lords do cost a ton of money. And he's going to bring his feelings and banelings in. Gets a Fungar off. Amazing Fungar over there. And these Marines are going to go down. But it looks like MorroW does not have that confidence to come in. I mean, he should really go because he can definitely beat that army.
He's spent a lot of money on those infestors, though, which at this point actually aren't doing him quite as well as the Mutalisks. It looks like he's got enough to take out those Marines, though, and once the Marines are dead, he can move in with the rest of his army. He may not even really need to. A lot of Mutas being actually taken out for MorroW. He can replenish it, but I don't know. That seemed like a little bit of a waste to use that many Mutalisks to take out that few Marines. But we'll have to see if it can pay off. Another good fungal going down on a lot of Marines and SCVs there. Kind of sacrificing those infestors to take that out. Fungal does do a lot of damage, a lot quicker right now.
Well, the thing about this map is there is only, what, 8? 1, 2, 3. There's only 10 bases, so there's like almost nothing else left for them to mine. And as long as he beat this mech army that Bear Punch has, it will be all good. He's actually making the Xishang kill the Marines. If you actually saw that, he actually dropped those Broodlings.
Yep. Using
that was pretty awesome.
Because that Terrans too. And it looks like a drop though at one of MorroW's bases. All the drones have died there. More drones being transferred at just the wrong time. MorroW's going to be able to clean this up with some Banelings and Infestors. Oh, the Infestors not able to get past the Zerglings. There they go. Now they've taken it out. In the meantime, more Broodlords coming in right now, taking out that Thor. And that's going to be all MorroW needs. That's the cue to move in. No, never mind. He's not moving in. Thought he was, but he decided not to. Actually, Bear Punch has a lot there. Command center floating over one of MorroW's bases. Interesting. strategic decision there by Bear Punch.
I think now he's almost dead. I mean, I don't see him. I mean, before that he was already dead, but it's really nice to see him see him want to fight. But I just don't think that he can come back from this one. As you can see, Brulots are doing insane damage.